Yeah, so in this part of this complete project, what we are going to do is to work on our Lambda plus API Gateway integration. So at the end of this part, you are going to know how to integrate your Lambda function with a REST API, and then you'll be able to get something like this. So if you make a GET request, you're able to get your response. This is being powered by a backend, and then if you create your dummy post request, you'll be able to get your response. Let's get right into it. The first thing we are going to work on is to build a fully working REST API with AWS Lambda serving as our backend, and then we are going to integrate it with an API gateway. So I'm going to start by first creating our Lambda function. This is going to be the name of my Lambda function. The runtime is pretty much the programming language, the engine upon which your Lambda code works. A Lambda function, simply put, is a service that allows you to run your code without provisioning or managing servers. So you write your function, you upload it, and then AWS handles everything from there. So I'm going to leave this, and then for now I'm simply going to create my function. We'll adjust the permissions as we proceed. So now this is my Lambda function, and this is the dummy code you get when you create a Lambda function. So if you have a Lambda function, as I always say, the key thing you always see in your Lambda function is your Lambda handler. That is pretty much the main function or method that gets invoked anytime your Lambda function is called. So I have a simple Lambda code that you are going to use for this test. Then I'll proceed to explain what the code does. So let me expand this. So this is our Lambda code, and then in our code, the first thing we are doing is I'm importing JSON, right? So this is an inbuilt Python library that kind of brings you JSON. So it's a JSON library. We use it to paste or pass incoming requests, right? So that we're able to get to the body and serialize our responses and all that. The next thing you see in the code is we are importing datetime, right? That is from datetime, we are importing our datetime. This allows us to get the right time zones and then get our date and time in proper timestamps. So that's the ISO format. Now the next thing you see in here is our Lambda handler. So our Lambda handler is the entry point of our Lambda function. You see, so each time you invoke your Lambda function, what happens is AWS calls this exact function first, and then this Lambda handler mostly contains an event. So an event pretty much contains everything about the incoming request, right? The HTTP request that is coming to your Lambda function is contained in the event. And then our Lambda function also has something called a context. The context is pretty much the Lambda runtime information. How is the Lambda configured and all those necessary details. So inside the code, the first thing is I'm printing the event that comes in, and then on the next thing, I'm just, as part of the event, I'm getting the HTTP method, right? I'm getting the method that is coming in, and then we proceed to check certain conditions that if the method coming in is a get method, I want to show this. If it's a post method, I want to show this. Then I'll proceed to print out certain messages, and then I'm kind of handling calls as part of our code. So this is pretty much it. What the calls does is it allows your external website and then HTML files and things from your browser to integrate with your APIs and then your backend. So that's this in the grand scheme of things. So what I'm going to do now is to publish or deploy my Lambda function. So if you want to get this interface, just click on this button and then it will expand it for you. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to test my Lambda function. So to test, I can simply create a test event, or I can click on this test tab and I click on create new test event. So I'm going to just test my get request. I'll leave everything as default, and then with the body, this is what's going to be my body. So what I'm seeing is this is the events. Remember, in our Lambda code, I mentioned that each Lambda function, anytime you're invoking it, you come in with an event. So after deploying the Lambda and then I want to test it, so I'm just bringing this thing in, and then I will test. Just save, click on invoke. So clearly this is my response. So it succeeded. Status code was 200, and this is it. Allow method, and then look at my response. Hello from your serverless API. The method was what get, which is part of my event, and then this is it. So this is the first part of the whole bit, right? Now we have our Lambda function working, and then we're able to test our Lambda function. Now, some of the key things I want you to note, always working with your Lambda function, is each time you make an update to your Lambda function, or if you make any modification, always remember to deploy your Lambda code. Now, the next part of this tutorial is we are going to proceed to create our REST API. So what I'll do is I'll simply search for API Gateway. So now API Gateway is an AWS service which is fully managed, and then it allows you to create secured APIs, right? It integrates perfectly with our Lambda function and other services. So we are simply going to create that. For this tutorial, we are basically going to create a REST API. So there are different forms of API. We have HTTP, which is more like a low latency and cost-free REST APIs. And then we have the normal REST, we have WebSockets, and then we have REST API for private. That's if you want your API to be a private network that is only accessible under your own VPCs and all that, you can do that. For this tutorial, we are going with REST API. So the difference between the REST API and the HTTP API is, with REST API, supports a bit of an advanced feature, right? You're able to do some usage plans, add API keys, integrate it with Cognito, which we'll be doing later parts of this series in part 2, and then you're able to do a lot of things. One thing is that HTTP APIs are a bit cheaper as compared to the REST API, but for this tutorial, don't worry so much about the cost. It won't cost you anything or nothing much. Alright, so you're pretty much going to build a REST API. So if I wanted to clone an existing API or import one, I can easily do that. But for this one, I'm just going to create my own API. So I'll give my API name Serverless Portfolio API. Then the endpoint, I'll leave it as original. Then for this, I'm just going to leave it as IPv4. This should be fine for now. So the first thing I'm going to create is a resource, right? I'm going to create a resource. So a resource is pretty much just a logical identity for a specific function that you can probably use, more like a groupie. It helps you organize stuff. So the first resource for this is going to be, I'm going to call my resource hello. Click on create resource. Now under the resource, I'm going to create a method. So the first method I'm going to create is going to be a get method. So what I'll do is I'll click on my hello. Please pay attention to this resource, and then I'll click on create method. Then the method type for this is going to be a get method, as we tested with a Lambda function. And for the integration type is going to be a Lambda function. Then I'm going to enable Lambda proxy integration. So what Lambda proxy integration does is this allows your API gateway to pass the full HTTP request to your Lambda function as a single object, right? So it's kind of structured events that comes into the Lambda function, and you're able to work with that in your Lambda code. You can toggle it off and then handle your own stuff, but this tutorial I'm simply going to pass it the way we want it to be. Then I'll select my Lambda function and then leave everything as it is for now, and then create method. So now our first method is ready. That's the get method. I'm now going to create another one for our post. The same approach. Now select post, integration type. The same. And then I have the same Lambda function. So a Lambda logic pretty much handled both. As I was going through it, if you remember, we have our get, we check the method, and then we are checking for post also. So our API will work fine. Leave everything as default, then I'll create it. Good. Since we'll be connecting this with a web application, what I'm going to do is to enable calls, right? As I said, calls allows us our backend or application to kind of work on the web. So I'll select my hello and then click on enable calls. Set these two defaults, then I allow these two methods and then save it. So this kind of enable calls for my whole Lambda function. Sorry, for my API gateway. Now, as we did in Lambda, each time we make changes to a Lambda function, we deploy it similarly to API gateway. To deploy your API gateway, you pretty much click on deploy, and whilst deploying, you create something called a stage. So the stage is pretty much like an environment, right, that you can point to or different forms. So for this stage, I'm going to, for this my new stage, I'm going to call it dev. Then I'll click deploy. So there we have it. So this is our API URL, which points to our backend. Since I've integrated this with, say, our Lambda function, and the Lambda is doing a get operation, if I bring this, if I try accessing this in the browser, let's see what happens before we test our API gateway. Now this is part of the test. I'll simply come in here. So this is my API URL. Then I'll access my resource. And as you can see, hello from our serverless API method gets blah blah blah. So this is the message coming in from our Lambda function. So our API gateway gets method is working fine. So this is how you basically integrate your Lambda function with your REST APIs. So if you want to do other or further stuff, or if you have different resource groupings that you want to do, you can proceed to create them, and then you add all the necessary things that you are supposed to do. So this is how simply you do this. Now let's quickly test it in a Postman or something of a sort. Yeah, so if you have Postman, you can use Postman. If you don't have Postman and then you're on VS Code, I came across this called Tender Client. That pretty much should be able to work fine also. So this kinda allows you to test your API request. So I'm just going to just come in here, paste my base URL, and then I'll test it to see if everything is working fine. Hello, so this is the response. Now to test my post method in the same client, so I'll just come in. You can use Postman if you want. Just for this tutorial, I'm just using this VS Code extension. And then I'll send my request. And then this is the response. Post received, blah blah blah. And then that is part of our Lambda code, right? We said if the method is gets, it should go through the body, get some data, receive data, and then it should kind of return all these things. So that's pretty much or the exact thing what we are getting. This is the data is sent in. So this is it working. Just for those of us who want to have a simple interface tied to this, I have a very simple web interface that you can work with. If you want to have this extension, if you don't want to work with Postman and you want to have this extension, just open your VS Code and then come to extension, then search for Tender Client. Yeah, I think it's this one. Just install it and then you'll be able to test your API gateway. So this is it. Now the last bit is just to show you guys just a simple web application that we have. I'll do also leave the code in the GitHub repo just as we do. You can use that tool to test your application. So in my VS Code, I have this dummy web application. It's just an API test tool. It's just generated by AI. You can generate one yourself. So in here, I'm just doing some styling, CSS stuff, and then I'm proceeding to pass in my API gateway and then you see it. So this is pretty much it. Let me just show you guys. Oops, sorry. So I have live server on my local, so I can. So this is it. So if I want to test my URL, I can simply paste it in here. Yeah, I'll give you access to this also if you want to make use of it. Let me copy my base URL. And then I'll paste it in here. / my hello. And then if I send a request, I should get my response. Okay. So if you want to test using this tool, you can also make use of this tool to test. I'll do what to leave the code in the GitHub repo and then on our webpage that has our tutorials. Now, in the next or subsequent chapters, we are going to talk about how to integrate this with Cognito for authentication and further stuff. So do all to check that out if you're interested.